What's up, guys? GenesisNexus here, and in today's video, I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on Crimson Desert. Uh, After everything we've seen, there's been a couple of videos over the past week from IGN that I want to kind of dig through a little bit to give my thoughts on, and I kind of come to a summary judgment that if they follow through on everything they've shown so far, that Crimson Desert, when it releases next year, will definitely be a Game of the Year contender. With everything it's showing so far, with how beautiful the world and how big it looks, I'm getting these kind of like Death Stranding and Witcher 3 vibes, and how impactful those games were. I think Crimson Desert if they do good, they can really nail it on that point and be known as one of those types of games. So without further ado, let's get into this video. And I kind of wanted to start off with a, two really big points, at least to me, is that it seems like from this video that you see here, the swords, magic, and battle robots, to there's a couple of others. There's even an 11-minute gameplay trailer from IGN that I'll link down below in the description box for you guys to check out, that they're really improving on the story of this game in comparison to how they've told story in their online game, Black Desert Online. For any BDO players who play it, you know, story hasn't been the best, but it looks like they're really hammering it home and expanding, not only in terms of storytelling, but like the lore of the world. And also, this next part or point is to the devs. I really hope that because they mentioned something about co-op, that they were either going to be making it before it launched or launching it afterwards. I hope that they did it beforehand, so when it comes out on release, it'll have like a co-op, and I hope it's kind of like a jump in, jump out co-op similar to Borderlands, because they can utilize the Black Spirit from Black Desert Online that anyone knows, and it seems like we even have it here. What I'm talking about is this kind of like spirit on your character, and uh, they could probably utilize that to somehow get it in and make it lore accurate. So hopefully they've worked on that. I haven't heard much about it. I've been asking around, but no one else has any knowledge on it. But I just wanted to mention that here because they mentioned it in the past. But to go further into this specific video, and I'm not gonna play any audio because I'm gonna be bouncing around. Yeah, as you can see, the dragon mounts. You even have like a mech mount. The one definite thing you guys have probably heard in all of my other Crimson Desert videos is weapon variety. And as you can see, now we have this kind of like spear for the character. In the past, we've seen the traditional sword and shield, and we even had a bow in one of the previous videos. But I'm definitely liking to see more. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. Sorry for the video quality. I don't know if it's IGN or if it's the YouTube compression system, but it's kind of making these kind of laggy or choppy. But yeah, as you could see, like they're even using like a pole arm, and then using magic on his weapon or his sword. Oh, and it kind of turns into a lightsaber. If you saw it at the end right here. Or is it? Yeah, it turns into a lightsaber with like the ice enchantment or something on it. And in this video, they mentioned something about how they took inspiration from classic games or retro games like Samurai Showdown, King of Fighters, and there was another game to kind of give our character Cliff more variety in their move set and combinations. And that's something I very much appreciated, because I think I mentioned in my last video for Crimson Desert that it seems like they're kind of giving you the freedom of like a Souls game, but with like tons of more combinations and options. And it's just freedom where you learn, the better you know your character, the more the game rewards you. And that's something I will always love in a game. Instead of like, hey, yeah, just learning what my enemy does and kind of like reacting to that, it's just like, hey, yeah, what can I do, and then how can I apply it? Uh, and other than that, it seems like there is like because they mention in this video that there's kind of like a freedom from the traditional weapon advantage wheel for anyone who knows that, oh, maybe if you played like Fire Emblem or something and you're no longer worrying about, oh, spears or pole arms are better than swords. Like there's none of that. In some cases, like, hey, yeah, it's better in terms of like, hey, yeah, you have more range, but it's not like a definitive like, oh, your spear is better than your sword, or your sword is better than an axe. Like there's nothing like that. So that's another good thing that they mentioned. Uh, there was a section where it was just showing how big and beautiful the world was, but I think my thought on it was I definitely hope they work on performance. Sorry, it may be at the beginning. Oh, was this it right here? Kind of like, yeah, when we were flying with the dragon or going around with the mount. I'm really gonna hone in on the flying with the dragon, because the mount options in this game have been incredible, at least from this, especially from this video. So if you want to see any of the mount options, I'm going to show you them here, but definitely check out this swords, magic, and battle robots video from IGN, because as you can see the dragon here, I'm going to play it a little bit and it'll show the mech mount, and each of them have like their own like thing to them. Like for example, they talked about how the mech needs like fuel, and it's not like magically you can grab all the fuel in the world, because that would make it OP. But they mentioned you will feel strong when you're in the mech, but you gotta have fuel for it. I believe the dragon also has like you have to feed it. They have where is it? They even have like a raptor, a dinosaur raptor. So there's that. And then earlier on, they even showed us a bear. Like you can literally ride a bear. And the one thing I like about this is just, and I think a lot of us can agree, is just the variety in not only weapon options, but in mount options. Because in a lot of games, you traditionally just get like a horse and that's it. In some games, you may get lucky and maybe get a wolf or something like that. But these are definitely like some great options that differentiate from traditional open world games. And also to kind of harp on that with like, because mounts are basically part of traversal. I do like that this game has given us some traversal options, and like how I mentioned before, the freedom to do as we wish with what we have available to us. I think there's a part in this trailer where yeah, I'll even do it here. It's right after this point where the main character, like Cliff, uses magic to get up, as you can see here, and then they use they have the black spirit, or I don't know if they're gonna call it the black spirit in the game, but it's kind of like cloak to like fly over from another place. There's also, I think they're gonna show it later or after this part actually, is using your magic and then into the wings to kind of like get over a lot of obstacles. Because if you ever play like an open world game, oh, you have to climb or you have to go around, you have to find a staircase or a ladder. And now it's just like, nope, I'm doing whatever I want, whenever I want to. And being able to combo those into something else is something that I think is a really great thing that a lot of other games should utilize. Oh, here's another one of the, this one is something that I'm really gonna probably use a lot, is as you can see here, we kind of have this magical gauntlet that kind of swings us around like Spider-Man. And you can see it, then we're kind of like doing the Sonic spinning animation into like a ground pound down here. And just looking the freedom of comboing it. And I'm gonna go into another one of IGN's videos. I believe it is this 11-minute brand new trailer from like 2 weeks ago. As you can see here, they've attached themselves to like the hood of a lookout post, and now they're oh, and now they do the Sonic twirl and then into the flight, and then look how seamless it is, going from that hill all the way over here. And I think the only other game I've ever done something similar to that is, if anyone's ever played Arcade, which was a MMO. Arcade has its own problems, but definitely being able to just uh glide over and then look, ground pound here too, boom, and the enemies feel it, the area feels it, And the thing I like, another thing I like that I think also lends into, in the previous videos they were showing us that we had some kind of stealth mechanic, is the fact that over here you can see that there's alert states for the enemies. They have these, like, there's I think one person down here has like a white alert state, so they don't know anything. Then you have people who have yellow, you have the deep red that you can see. And I'm just gonna watch it a little bit. Okay, they didn't change. There's even like blue alert states. But some of the enemies can kind of lose track of you as a person. And here's where I was saying that the story, they're working on the story, because it seems like it has its own parts. But I don't want to spoil a little bit of that. What I wanted to do is, after they start going into battle here, there was something I noticed with the enemies that I wanted to bring up to attention when because I was just talking about like the alert states. As you can see here, everyone else over here is in the red, so they notice you. They're fighting you. But then you have this guy over here who's in yellow. Like, he knows something's going on, he just doesn't know when or where. And I've played tons of open world games where the moment you aggro one enemy in an area, every enemy, regardless of where they are in the area, they know exactly where you are and they run over to you. And I just like this kind of thing of like, hey, maybe it's an enemy on the other side of these walls, and or at the top of the walls, they haven't necessarily seen you yet. So maybe you could, if you defeat all these enemies and kind of like scurry away and run and hide, they won't even notice you. And that's kind of crazy for like a giant combat sequence like this. And you can see this one enemy still doesn't know where you are. He's still like in the yellow. Oh, nope, there we go. Now he's in the red. Now he knows. And then there's another enemy that's kind of just like minding his business. He knows something's going on, and he's kind of like toggling through the alert states. And all these kind of like features are just stuff that I think is really enjoyable and just like really like elevates the world so that it's more realistic, while also giving you like I'll let you see some of the combat, a lot of options to do what you want to do and how you want to approach a situation. Now there's even more with the traversal. You could just see the flying and everything to get around. No more relying on a horse. No more having to. There's even a climbing mechanic, I think, is in the previous video, or actually in the trailer. I'll show you guys later. But all of this is really shaping up to be just an amazing game, because they talked about how this game has faction quests, bounties. You guys have seen the gliding, you've seen the Sonic ground pounding, the Spider-Man swinging around and stuff. There was also puzzle dungeons, and I think this video shows kind of like the start of it, which also, to once again reiterate on how the world is so big, is you see kind of this area over here, and then you see the desert on this side, and then you're kind of at the puzzle area, and then just look at the falling. And they've been working on this for what, 5+ years. As you can see, there's like gathering and stuff. Seems like puzzles you need to just look at this. And this I feel like comes from like that Breath of the Wild / like Tears of the Kingdom, like puzzle dungeons that they've kind of worked into their own way with the Black Spirit and stuff from Black Desert Online. So there's probably so much out there that you guys can watch. I'm going to link all of these in the description box. And one part that I did want to show you guys was this kind of boss fight that, sorry, there was sirens in the background. This part of the boss fight where it's like kind of comboing everything you have available to you. And as I showed in combat, I showed you in the other video in combat, there's like the weapon variety, and then now we have kind of the magic variety. And then also it seems like you even have options down here to like quick swap gear. And who knows if that may maybe makes you, oh, I can change my armor to be more magic resistant or whatever. But what I'm really focusing on is the fact that the magic seems to have a lot of charges. Look at that. He used the bow to shoot off electric arrows, but it took all the outer charges plus these inner charges. It took one of those, and it seems like there's what, 3 of the inner charges left. There's so much you can like combo and use together, and I know that you can use that electricity charge without your bow too. We've even seen like the ice magic from before in the previous video over here, where they kind of comboed it and it turned into a lightsaber. Oh, sorry. I think it was. Oh, well, let me not get lost in the sauce over there in that video. But this boss fight, we had the shrine boss fight. Oh, and then this is another part that I liked when your character got hit. I'm gonna skip this part a little bit so I can go to where I was showing you in that fight, where the character gets hit by the boss, and they kind of do a quick recovery to recover, and then automatically take some of these charges, these healing charges. You'll see it where it immediately took a charge, so you can get up instead of just be stuck on the ground. And I'm wondering if this magic grows with your mastery of it. So this way, because they mentioned like an expansive like skill tree and ability tree, so maybe that's the case with that. And it would be really interesting to see how they handle it, because it's definitely going to be different from Black Desert Online. So we have this boss here, which I don't want to spoil all of it. I know there was another boss or a couple of bosses. Oh man, there's been so many videos. Does this have the boss fight? Yeah, there was a boss fight here with that guy. Oh, there was the witch boss fight. You have this giant hunk of armor boss fight. And all of it's just, I'm loving the boss variety too. There's big bosses, there's small bosses, there's gigantic ones like the dragon, and then it even just even go back a little bit into that dragon fight. I'm gonna skip ahead because it looks like after you kind of pseudo beat it, you go into an aerial combat like kind of scenario where, as you can see, your dragon is kind of like helping there. You're probably going to fall off and jump on your dragon and then continue the fight. But that's just amazing to me. That's something I don't think I've seen in a open world game, at least not for a long time. Like doing combo big fights like this. But to kind of go back to the beginning of this video, and it kind of hammers home that they're working on the story, is we have this instance where we're talking to Marnie. For anyone who plays BDO, you know who Marnie is. And he's kind of like guiding you through and giving you the, hey, yeah, go fight that dragon because you need to stop it. Another point I wanted to bring up is also costume or armor variety. When we play open world games, they tend to give us like maybe like a couple of changes here and there, but you notice Cliff's armor here with kind of like these pointed, jagged edges on for the shoulders. But if we come down to the official trailer that was in Game Awards 2024, oh my jeez, that's old. He has like this kind of magic like garb on him. This one looks like he has like paladin or like monk styles armor on. And I like the variety. And then this one just looks like basic stuff. This looks like if you've ever played an MMO, like, hey, yeah, this is the starting armor, and this is what they're giving you. So I'm liking it there. I believe also in this video, it was different. Because when you fight... Hold on, I don't know why that's in, like, 480. Have all these been? No, this one looks like it's, yeah, that's like at 720. Ha, YouTube, why? But you see here, he's not even wearing, like, it's kind of like a wolf face for a shoulder piece. And I'm just liking the variety. There's variety everywhere, and as a fan of just variety in games, I love that. The freedom that they've been harping on about. And to kind of go a little bit past this story point with Marnie, this part in the video reminded me of, if anyone's played the OG or original Assassin's Creed games, where you used to go around, you would get designs and stuff, and then you would be able to make them later in the game to help you out. This reminds me of that. What I do wish though is that in this scene, they maybe, because we already have like magic and stuff, maybe it's a magical piece of paper where it translated into a language you can read. So it would be nice if this was like translated into like English or Spanish or whatever the player is using, because they go through a couple of the designs or stuff, and then they kind of like head on out. And once again, it just shows how big the world is and how beautiful it is and how diverse it is in locales. Because it kind of skipped ahead, but like, you see this water and stuff? This game is going to be big, and if they land on everything, I think it could be generational. And that would be a shocking thing for Pearl Abyss to just kind of like drop this single player game after like a decade plus of their MMO and be like, hey, yeah, people love this more than their MMO. Hold on. I don't know why YouTube just brought it back down, but it shows like it's not, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not like the most super high definition stuff like maybe Death Stranding or something, but I definitely think it works. Funnily enough, this combat scene right here, I just remembered it as I was going past, is literally the start of, I believe, this video. Yep. Which is, it's good, at least for me. I'm seeing like, hey, where stuff is coming from. But yeah, I think I've kind of like harped on enough. I don't want to make this video too long. Like I mentioned, variety is kind of like key with me, and this game seems to be hitting that on the nose. And I think it'll do it for a lot of other players as well. Where was it in the, sorry, I just had a note I saw that I told myself, talk about this. And I think it was part of this boss fight where it kind of showed that even your character is capable of being like ragdolled. As you can see here, yeah. The flame tornadoes where your character gets like yeeted across the map and the boss is just yeeting you. You can kind of like try to get away from it, but it's very interesting to see like these boss mechanics. And I don't think I've seen, at least not an open world game, something doing that. They even have like a cannon. Look at that. Oh, just tons of stuff that I'm looking forward to in this game, and I'm really hoping they follow through. Dragon flights. You could all see all the puzzle zones or the ruins in the sky with your dragon. I wonder if they're gonna keep it like this, but who knows. But let me not harp on. Like I said, I do wish to see more, or at least like get some finishing details on, or thoughts from the developers on performance, because I think that's probably going to be the key point on whether or not this game like sticks the landing, is performance. Because they've shown us how big the world is, they've shown us the variety, weapons to enemies to bosses, even magic. So if they can nail that performance, this is really going to stick that landing and be great. Now, I definitely want to hear what you guys also want think about this. Are you hyped for I was about to say Black Desert. Are you hyped for Crimson Desert? Do you like all of these like videos that they've been putting out and stuff, and all the combat and traversal options? I would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you have liked this video. I'll definitely be doing more of this and covering Crimson Desert when it does release next year. But yeah, let me not keep you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.